send you my way.
What's up, TLR? How we doing? How we doing? Good? Good. Whoa. You see this? The thing. Yeah, let's go. You guys might not have heard yet. Good job. Turn on
I
his
know,
mic.
it's like I've ever used this
These
before.
ladies came ready, though. Who's excited for a little silent disco later?
Come on.
Okay, there we go.
Hey, here's the question. Who's never done a silent disco before?
Yeah.
It's
Nice.
like
That's
your
actually
life
a
is
good
about
chunk-
to be changed.
Yeah, that's a good chunk of the room. It's going to be great.
It is.
It's going to be great. But before we get to that, we got a lot coming up. First, my name is Caleb.
That's
This is Matt.
Bro, you walked out and they started saying hey to you.
Yeah, somebody said my name.
I know. You feel good about
I'm just
yourself?
trying not to make eye contact.
It's fine, it's fine.
Okay, all right, that's cool. That's
Hi.
cool.
You said hey to me? Hey, I'm Matt. They know me. I'd like to know you too. Hi.
This is Matt. I'm Caleb. We're on the TLR team. We're so excited you guys are here. If it's your first time ever stepping into the building, or like Sammer says now, if you're new-ish,
we'd
we'd love a chance to get to meet you. We've got a gift for you. So after service, if you want to meet us at the guest service desk,
Yeah, and
I don't know what it's called.
maybe a little bit of a change today because it's silent disco. We'll be out there where you saw us walking in. We'll be out there.
Come
We'd love
find
to
us.
meet you.
We'd love to give you a gift. But
Yes.
before we get into that,
We got some things we like to do here at TLR called life updates. We like to make this big room feel a little smaller and know what's going on in your life. For instance, you could be like, my life update is, I've never done a silent disco before, and my life's about to be better in 2 hours. You're right, it is. But that one's already taken.
that one's taken. You can't do that. Don't be
Caleb,
lame.
do you have any life updates?
Yo, I did something crazy last night. I got 8 hours of sleep.
That's worth.
It did nothing.
That's fine. Hey, but let's ask this. Y'all are in college. How many of you get at least 8 hours of sleep a night? Show of hands.
No way. There's no way that many of you.
Kira's like, me? Yeah.
Insane.
I think I got 8 hours of sleep every night in college, but it was from like 3 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Yeah, it's
And I
like
just
it's not
missed
a
all my
good 8 hours.
classes.
Yeah. What's your life
It's not
update?
good. It's not good. My life update is my daughter last night had a 105 fever. Exactly. Yeah. She's fine now. She's 4 years old. But she talked through her sleep the entire night, like full commentary of her whole day, like saying everything she did, having conversations.
Did you try to have a conversation with her?
Wow, no, I tried to get her to go to sleep.
You know you
'cause
can
I
do
was
that.
tired.
You know you can do that.
I don't want it. That's terrifying.
Try it next time.
I'm
Okay.
terrifying.
What's y'all's updates? Raise
Anyways,
your hand.
we're
I want to hear what's
tired.
going on.
We wanna know what's
right
going
here,
on with you.
With the glasses.
That's
Whoa,
incredible.
She applied to the fire department, hoping to start training in the next couple weeks. When will you hear back about training? Hopefully by Friday.
That's incredible.
Awesome.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Let us know. Post
That's
us,
awesome.
tag us. Be like,
You'll do so many burpees in training, and I hate burpees.
Yeah.
What other life updates? Who else has got? You got one right here? All right, neon vest. No way!
Hey! She
I'm about to say,
got
they're really
accepted in
excited
a
for
Disney
you. You have
college
to be
program.
excited too. The
Let's
Disney
go.
college program, when do you start? And how long does that go?
No,
So you're living at Disney.
it's a lifetime commitment.
That's right, yeah.
It's not till January. They
6 months, okay,
yeah,
we get it.
I don't know if you heard, Disney owns you now. just so you know. What's another life update? Let's go right here in the pink. Hey, y'all, quiet
Nice.
down. What'd she say?
No, you can say it again. Say it for Caleb.
Say
He
it
didn't
one more
hear.
time. Nice. She finally gets to work with the age she wants to at her daycare. What age?
There. 3-year-olds.
3-year-olds? Hold on, you want to work with 3-year-olds?
Yeah.
Where were you before? Was it 2-year-olds? One and two? Okay, yeah, three makes sense.
And one,
Three
I'll
makes
take
sense.
that. Yeah, that's good. Math, I learned that. I was an English major. That's fine. All right, congratulations. I've had a few of those in my house. Good luck. We got one right here. What's your update?
I stayed awake for 30 hours to finish a project last night.
Stayed awake for 30 hours. to finish a project.
The question is though, did you ace it?
He said, yeah. If you have to pause before you answer, that's never a great sign.
Oh, bro.
How was the first date? Yeah, I get it.
Didn't answer.
30 hours.
Wow.
When did you go? Like, when did you wake up?
Yeah. What were the hours? So 11 a.m. went to bed at 7 p.m.
They're disappointed in you in the front. They're like, oh.
They're like, I would have
sweetheart.
aced it.
Yeah.
What class? Architecture. Ooh.
Any architecture majors? Anyone? Yes. All right.
He's like, I know
They
your
feel
pain.
you. It's good. It's good. Well, hey, listen, we want to also let you know about something that could be a life update for you. How many of you on your way in ate some Chick-fil-A? There we are. That's right.
Nobody
right.
in here loves Chick-fil-A.
I don't know.
It's only a
Jesus
hand
is
raise.
in the chicken, so I don't know why you're not cheering for it, guys. We're at church. Thank you. So our friends from WindShape are here, and they provided dinner for all of you tonight. They wanted to love on y'all. They wanted to say thank you. And so what they would love to do, though, is also tell you about an incredible opportunity, again, that could be your life update, because they are looking for college students to come and join their summer staff. They have a summer staff program where you will come and help all of their camps. They've got overnight camps throughout the entire summer. They've got day camps happening at different places. They're looking for people to work those camps. They're looking for counselors, especially guys, to come and help with all of the kids and the students they reach. It is a paid summer staff opportunity.
No way.
It's the largest or the highest paying summer internship opportunity in the country, actually.
What's that, like $8?
It's way more than $8.
Sick.
Yeah, a little bit more than that a week. And everything's super paid for, and it's an incredible organization. We'd love for you to consider going and talking to WindShape after the service about maybe giving your summer to going and serving kids and serving students that are coming from all around the country to hang out at WindShape camps. I'm talking a lot about it, and I talk all the time. So instead of me talking about it, we thought we'd share with you a story of someone who did this during their college season. Y'all take a look.
Hey, my name is Mark Lamb. I worked camp. I started in 2008 as a camp director and a camp pastor with WindShape Camp C3. Did that for a couple summers. Then I got to work on our full-time team for another 6 or 7 years after that. It was a good time. I worked on programming and summer staff. And my life changed at WindShape camps. You often don't know as a young college student like what you're good at or what you're gonna even like. But I had people that were older than me that saw gifts in me that I didn't know were there. And they called things out, and then they gave me an opportunity to go do those things. I didn't know I was a communicator until someone looked at me and said, I think you can communicate. I didn't know I had the ability to lead a staff of people until someone's like, you should apply to be a camp director. So what did the Lord do with refining my gifts? He exposed them. He grew my faith by letting me live it out in practicality. I'm a high school pastor in Athens, Georgia at Athens Church. And I'm at the healthiest church that I've ever seen in my entire life and getting to see a lot of success in ministry. The skills, the opportunities, the trust, the ways I learned to communicate the gospel, the ways I learned to navigate scripture, the ways I got to learn interpersonal skills with other people. There's not a shot in the world that if I hadn't spent those years with WindShape, I'd be doing what I'm doing today. When you go to apply for a job down the road, someone's gonna ask you, tell me what you've done. And if you've just done all the academic things, which are so important and so valuable, they're gonna ask you again, what have you done? Look, there's a million opportunities for you this summer. There's a million other camps out there. But WindShape camps, with the heritage that they have, the foundation they have, the commitment to the local church that they have, I don't know that you're gonna build a better network. And I don't know that you're gonna have a more secure opportunity than with a trusted organization like WindShape Camps and the WindShape Foundation. You're gonna see your faith take off in ways you didn't even anticipate it could.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. So really, we do mean this. There are a few different organizations that we have relationships with that we love to partner with, and WindShape is one of our absolute favorites. So if you are looking for an opportunity this summer, we'd love for you to talk to them afterwards so that you can apply to potentially be a leader with them this summer. Now, that's going to be something after we're done in here and before we go to a silent disco. But before all that, we got other stuff we're going to do, Caleb.
Yep.
Are you ready?
We're going to get right into
We are. So if you've never actually come to TLR, and maybe you've been here for a million times, whether you're aware or not, what we're about to do next is my favorite part of the entire night. We are going to get to worship together. Now, all worship is, if you're wondering, worship is simply reflecting the love that God's already given you right back at Him, and it's an opportunity that all of us have. So y'all go ahead and stand up. Caleb, you've already called out his name. You already like him. Caleb is here, and Lauren is here, and Clay is here. Clay got a haircut. Clay got a fresh cut. So y'all get up, get ready. Welcome to TLR, let's roll.
All right, y'all. Here's the thing. Does anybody just need like a little bit of a freaking break? Yeah? Does anybody need just maybe a little bit of fun? Cool. So we're gonna do that. Here's the thing though. You can't have fun standing still. So if you guys need to get into the aisles, if you need to be that annoying friend that elbows your more annoying friend that won't actually do anything, then do it, because we're just gonna try to have a little fun right now. We're gonna let loose and go after it. Is that okay, TLR? Sweet, let's do it.
Fair enough, dude. Fair enough.
Where you are is where I wanna be. You have shown me what freedom means. I'm alive, your grace has covered me. I'm gonna sing your praises. Let's go! Old chains don't have a hold on me. You surrender, you stand. Put those hands together. Because we are just a melody. I'm gonna sing your praises. Because you are worthy, you will always be enough. And I will never get tired of singing up. Never get tired of singing up. Never get tired, never get tired of singing up. Never get tired, never get tired of singing up. To the old and you made it. Wanna join and be loved by you. Nothing else could ever do. I'm gonna sing your praises. I'm gonna sing your praises. 'Cause you are worthy and you will always be enough. And I will never get tired of singing up. Never get tired of singing up. Never get tired, never get tired of singing up. Never get tired, I never get tired of singing up. Ready? Never get tired, never get tired. Repeat after me, go.
Never get tired, never get tired.
One more time. Never get tired, never get tired. Your turn, say.
Never get tired, never get tired. 'Cause you are worthy and you will always be enough. And I will never get tired of singing up your love.
Hands up, big clap, clap.
You are worthy and you will always be enough. And I will never get tired of singing up. Never get tired of singing up. Never get tired, never get tired. Now we're already loose.
Yeah.
Joseph, are you loose back there? Let's go.
You give life an eternal spark. I call you healer. 'Cause you can mend any broken heart. I call you faithful Father. respond.
Sing it out. Here we go.
I know you brought 1,000 days. You deserve every single one. You've given me 1,000,000 ways to be amazed at what you've done, and I am lost in wonder at all you do. I know you brought 1,000 days, and I'll sing them back to you. Sing them all back. Your love is boundless. Hey. Beyond words.
Yeah, just lean in it.
Patience, hey. 'Cause you're never giving up on me. I call you bondage breaker. 'Cause you handed out the prison keys. My soul was made, yes, to be free. I wanna sing like I'm free. I know you brought 1,000 days. You deserve every single one. You've given me 1,000,000 ways to be amazed at what you've done, and I am lost in wonder at all you do. I know you brought 1,000 days, and I'll sing them back, all back to you. Rock of ages, you're the great I am. You are King forever.
That's what I'm talking about. Who cares if you're on pitch? Just sing it.
Lion of Judah, yeah, you're the second Adam, here to lead us on. You are Yahweh's
I feel like this is like a trap that worship leaders get into, but it's not unique to us. Where we sing songs about who God is and his character and how he views us. And we do it week in and week out, especially those of us who are like in church every Sunday and maybe leading like a small group or something. Like, our minds are filled with truth, the good news of who Jesus is. And it's easy to go through the motions and easy to just sing the words and not let them really like penetrate your heart. And it's especially easy to do that until life comes along and you really need Jesus to be all those things that we said, that we just sang. We need him to show up, and in the moments in our life where we need him to defeat death, even if it's not literal death, or we need him to defeat the things in our life that make us feel like parts of our story are truly over. And I'm in that spot today. We actually all got a call from a really close friend of ours this morning. Devastating news. Hate it. I absolutely hate it. I don't see where God is at all in the situation, to be completely frank with you. I don't see it. But I know that I need him to not be done. I need him to not be done writing this story. I need him to show up. I hope that he will. I'll try my best to have the faith that he'll follow through. But sometimes it's not easy, you know? I don't really have like a pretty bow to wrap on that at all. But I do just want to say, like, I don't know all of your stories. I don't know, like, what you're walking through right now. But life hits us all the same, whether you're on a stage or you're sitting in a seat or you came for the very first time or you were reluctant to come and you don't know why you're here. Like, life doesn't withhold its punches. But this is a safe place to remind our hearts, even if we're not fully there, like fully ready to believe, it's a safe place to remind our hearts of who Jesus really is. And in the moments when we don't have the words to pray, or we can't even like make our voice sing these words because we don't believe them, you have a family around you right here who will sing them for you, who will believe them for you, who will carry you through until you can believe them for yourself. And so tonight, I don't know if I can actually sing this song, to be really frank with you. But I'm gonna do my best, and I'm gonna trust that this is home away from home, that you are my family, I'm your family. You'll sing over me, I'll sing over you, and Jesus will meet us somewhere in the middle of all of it. Because he is good like that. He is good like that. So let's sing this song all together. And when I can't sing, you sing. And when you can't sing, I'll sing, okay? Home away from home, let's go.
Your name cannot be overcome. It cannot be. Your name is alive, forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is alive, that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is alive, forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, 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 you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus.
We're asking you to be who you said you are. I don't think that's too lofty of an expectation on our part. You said that you're good, you said that you're kind, so be that. You said that you never leave us or forsake us, so do that. You're good on your word. I know you are. I know you are. You make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Yes, Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. You silence fear. Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus.
I've noticed a couple people up in the front taking a knee and bringing something to God. If you want to do that, can we just take a couple seconds? We're not in a rush right now. Caleb's having this moment too. If you've got something that you want to bring to him, that you want to trust him with, show him that. Just bring it to him now. This is a front. Make this front an altar space if you want to bring that to him. Is alive. Can't deny your name. Not be overcome. Your name is
God, in our life. Have your way. Show up. Show up. Even if we have the smallest amount of faith tonight, we give it to you. Trusting that it will never go void. Whatever you're planting right now, it'll blossom into something beautiful. We're trusting you. We're trusting you. Pray this all in your beautiful name. Amen. Love y'all very much. Have a seat.
It's not often that we kind of extend those moments like that. And honestly, what happens is the Holy Spirit kind of takes over and leads, and we just trust and we follow. And so, as Lauren was speaking, I don't know, there is, like, whatever emotion you walked in here with, whatever you're navigating, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're going through, whatever game you feel like you're playing in your life, I just want you to know that you can bring it in here and God's not afraid of it. That Lauren can sit up here and say, I don't even know that I can sing this. I don't even know that I can say these words, that I'm having a hard time believing them right now. And she still can. It's because she knows that God's not afraid of that emotion. He's not afraid of your honesty, of your vulnerability. I've been there. Like, I know the situation and what she's talking about, and I've been there. And no matter what you're going through or walking through, someone's been there. And I just want you to know that you are not alone, that you don't have to navigate it alone, and that whenever you walk through those moments, your knowledge of God and who He is and how much He loves you can carry you through. I promise you, I'm telling you firsthand that it will become a foundation for you. When everything feels like it's wavy and your foundation is lost, that can become a foundation for you. It's this love that God has for you. So again, none of this is planned for tonight, but we're going to go there. This week we were on campus. We're handing out flowers. Anybody get flowers from us? Anyone find flowers at Kennesaw? You got some flowers? Good, okay, good. We're handing a bunch of flowers, some cards, inviting people to tonight. And I was overwhelmed with a lot of emotion by some people that were on campus that if you go to Kennesaw, or really you go to any college campus, they're probably there a lot. And they end up having giant signs because they don't think anyone can read. And they're like, they're going to put it in 19,000 font. And the language on the signs typically is something that's going to make you feel awful about yourself. And then they just start yelling to the wind these things that they believe are true about God, which, can I just tell you, if you've ever heard people like this, it's not who God is. It's not who Jesus is. And there's nothing in this planet that makes me more angry than whenever I see someone communicating something about Jesus that's not true of who He is. And so I had a conversation with them. That maybe wasn't smart. Yeah. Nothing good came out of it. Surprise. But I walked around your campus and seeing your friends, seeing your classmates, seeing the people that you walk around with every single day, and the reality that you're hearing messages, you're hearing words, you're hearing things from our culture, you're hearing things from these liars, you're hearing things from these people who are trying to tell you something about God that's just not true, and it crushes me. Because I'm here to tell you that everything you're looking for, everything, name it, throw it all up on the board, everything you're looking for, The answer to all those things is Jesus. And that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. That's why we meet on Wednesdays. That's why the living room exists. That's why we say it can be your home away from home. We truly do believe that this can become a safe place, a safe home for you and your community. And so I just want to take time to tell you that Jesus loves you and that he wants to have a relationship with you. No matter what you're going through, he's not afraid of it. Because we're in this series called The Games We Play. And I want you to know, it's not a game. This isn't a game for us. Like, Jesus isn't a game. He's our life. Because he did something for us that we could never do on our own. And so I gladly give my life to following him because I've found life now that I have him. And that's what I want for you. That's what I want for your friends. That's what I want for your college campus. I want y'all to experience the love of Jesus because it will change your life. And so whatever emotion you're going through, whatever emotion you may be navigating when you come in here, I just want you to know that it's okay. And you are overwhelmingly welcomed to bring that in here. And whether it's at the highest of highs, like those first two songs, or you're like, I resonate with Lauren tonight, with Caleb, kneeling down over here, praying during worship, you can bring all that here and you can bring all that to God because he's not afraid of you. He's not offended by you. He's not angry at you. You're not a disappointment to him. He loves you. And he wants to show you how to have a more and better life than you could ever dream of. So now that I've taken 10 minutes to tell you something I wasn't planning on telling you, can I ask you the question I had planned on actually talking to you and starting with tonight? It has to do with emotions. It has to do with something that you feel. It has to do with something that probably determines a lot of your life. Here's the question I want to intro with. Do you live to eat or do you eat to live? Guys, if you don't know how to answer this question, there's a problem in your life. Some people are like, I live to eat because if I didn't eat, I couldn't go to tomorrow. And some people are like, no. You don't understand. My entire life is wrapped around food. It really is. We cook all our food. It's the greatest thing in the world. I love being in the kitchen. It's like my favorite thing. A friend of mine was like, look at this apron I got. Now I can cook with. I was like, I'm officially 37 years old and old because I'm talking about aprons and kitchenware. This is great, Matt. What's become of your life? But the question I want to ask you is, do you live to eat or do you eat to live? For me, I live to eat. It's the best thing in the world. Anyone else, can we just confession, right? It's church, safe place. You can bring your emotions. Who else lives to eat? Just for me. Do I have any friends in here that love food? Okay, great. So what I want to talk about tonight is not simply food, but it's the thing that probably drives your answer. What I want to talk about tonight is this, is your appetites. I want to talk about the games that we play with our appetite and the games we play with our future. So as we talk about your appetite, here's what I mean by appetite. This is your and my natural desire to satisfy a need. It's a natural desire that you have to satisfy a need that all of us have. And it's not just food. Food might be the best one, but it's not just food. We have appetites of many different things. Here's a list of some of them that you have an appetite for, that all of us have an appetite for. For food, we have an appetite for sex. We have an appetite for love. We have an appetite for progress, success, acceptance, belonging, security, adventure, challenge. You're going to find some desire to have these things met in your life. It's called an appetite. But the reason why I want to talk about this tonight is because your appetites sometimes have a mind of their own. And when it comes to your future and where you want to end up, your appetite may determine that direction more than anything else. Because here's what I know is true of you, is that you want to get it right. You do, you want to get it right. I say that a lot because it's true, and you need to be reminded that you want to get it right. You want to get college right. You want to get relationships right. You want to get life right. You want to get faith right. You want to get your emotions right. You want to get it right. But here's the deal. All of you are in your life, the position you're in, you're here. And where you want to be one day when you get it right is way over there. So I'm right here today. Tomorrow, I'd like to be here. One day, I'd like to be here. So how do I fill that gap from where I am now to where I want to be one day? And if you are completely unaware of where you're going, the thing that will determine the direction of that potentially the most in your life is your appetite. Because your appetite is filled with all of these things. And here's what's true about your appetite in your life, is that either you will rule your appetites or they will rule you. Either you get to rule and control and have power over your appetites, or your appetites will have a lot of power over you. And I want to talk about this because what's true about your appetites is that when they rule you, they get really dangerous because your appetites are incredibly powerful. You don't even have to think about it and you're hungry. I can start talking about some really yummy food and you're like, I just ate Chick-fil-A and I want more. What in the world? Your appetites are powerful. And when they rule you, they can be very dangerous. Your appetites have the potential to derail your future. That's how dangerous they can become. They have the potential to lead you in a negative way. For some of you, they have a potential to lead you towards addiction. They have a potential to lead you one day, if you let them rule you, into a failed marriage. They have a potential to crush your dreams. They have a potential to derail your story. Your appetites are powerful, and they can be very dangerous. They can cause you, and this is what I don't want you to experience, they can cause you to miss God's dreams and plans for your life if those appetites rule you instead of you ruling them. And I promise you, you don't want them to rule you. And so before we keep going, there's a few things about appetites that I need you to understand. Let me give you some context for what appetites are, some context so we can understand before we jump into some wisdom that's going to teach us how to actually rule them instead of them ruling us. And so there's a few things you need to know about appetites. The first thing is this, is that God created us with appetites. God created us with appetites. Appetites are not bad and wrong and awful from the start. God created us with appetites, but sin broke and distorted them. That's really all sin is. Sin is a perversion of God's purpose. And so you've got an appetite for something, it's a good and healthy appetite. But then our sin, our brokenness, our running away from God and what He says we should do with our life, in those moments, that sin, it distorts and it breaks and it shatters what's good about your appetite. And then they become super dangerous. Here's the next thing you need to know. It's kind of a 3-for-1. Something about them is that you can't eliminate them. You can't, as hard as you may try. You can't eliminate them. You don't outgrow them. And so you don't need to underestimate them. You can't escape them. That's why it doesn't matter how many times you come to TLR or how good you feel during worship or how many great experiences you may have around church or with your faith. At some point, that thing is going to show up again. At some point, we find ourselves running back to that unhealthy habit again because you can't eliminate them. And they don't go away as you get older. They show up even harsher and darker as you get older. And so we don't need to underestimate them. We need to give our attention to our appetites. Now, another reason we need to give our attention to them is because of what they say. Appetites scream, now, more. That's the only language they know. Now and more. I want it now, and it's not enough yet. So I'll take more, please. And this is actually our culture feeding us this. My kids don't know what a commercial is. Let me just say that again for the reality of what is happening in my household. My children don't know what a commercial is. I'm like, I know everything I learned about life happened from a commercial when I was growing up. They don't know what it is. They just go beep, 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 and it's on to the next one. They skip past all of them. And see, we live in a world, Levi Lusko once said, we live in a world where we can't even heat up a Hot Pocket and then not burn our mouth on it because we got to have it right now. We live in an instant gratification type of world because that's what our appetites say. Your appetites, they scream now, they scream more, and whenever they continue to scream that, the last thing, the fourth thing I need you to know is that appetites are never fully and finally satisfied. They never are. Within their nature of what they are, they're always wanting more. It's why you're going to feel full after you eat a good meal, but 3 hours later, you're like, I don't know, that does kind of sound good. Do I really want? I don't know, but it's Jenny's ice cream, so of course I'm going to eat it. Mom, yeah. All of us feel this because they're never fully and finally satisfied. Your appetites are here to stay, and they're powerful, so we need to talk about them. Because what I want to talk about is, so how is it that you can make your appetites something that you have power over instead of something that has power over you? Is it willpower? You just elevate self-discipline? How do we actually get there? Because either you will rule them or they will rule your entire life. Now, there are so many stories, people that have navigated their appetites and that speak to the power of appetites that we can learn from. But what I want to do for the next few minutes is go to a story in the book of Genesis that's going to communicate a story about twin brothers and what happened when an appetite determined a future for one of them that they had no idea of what was coming. His appetite ruled him, and it lost him everything. Now, let me give you some context first. In Genesis chapter 12, God has a conversation with this guy named Abraham, and he makes a promise. He makes a covenant to Abraham that through his line, his descendants will be greater than the stars in the sky. God is going to make a great nation from Abraham. There's a problem. Abraham is 75 years old. And so Abraham has no children at 75 because his wife can't get pregnant. But then at 99 years old, they get pregnant and they have a child named Isaac. And so there's this promise that's passed down now to Isaac. And then Isaac marries this girl named Rebekah, and they have children. They are twin boys named Jacob and Esau. And so we're going to pick up this big promise of what God's going to do, how he's going to bless the entire world through Abraham's family. Now comes to Jacob and Esau. Esau is the first one to come out. Jacob is the second. The twin brothers. Esau is the firstborn. Jacob is the second. So that's the context that leads us into the story in Genesis chapter 25 and verse 27. Let's read it together. It says, the boys, they grew up like they all do. And Esau became an expert hunter, an outdoorsman. But Jacob was a quiet man, preferring life indoors among the tents. So already at the beginning, we start to see this diametric opposition of the two brothers. They are polar opposites. One of them would have been a hunter. The other would have been inside doing the domestic work. They could not be more opposite. And as a result, something else drives them even further apart. Their parents. Because it says that Isaac, the father, loved Esau because he loved his game, his hunting skills, what he would bring in, the meat that they would get to eat from what he would do. But Rebekah, his wife, loved Jacob. And so now the parents are choosing favorites. This older brother, this younger brother, they've got a division line between them. And then something happens in the story as they're grown adults, as they are living with a little bit of maturity, we would think. Something happens around their appetites that changes history forever. So the very next verse, it says, one day, Jacob was cooking a stew, and Esau came in from the field starved. He was out hunting. And Esau said to Jacob, give me some of that red stew. I'm starved. How many of you have ever said you're starving before? Guys, that's like, come on, all of us. Okay, now, how many of you were actually starving? Probably not many of us. That's an emotional statement we make when our appetites are screaming at us now and more. I'm famished. I don't even know what that word means, but I'm going to say it when I'm really, really hungry. My wife likes to say, I'm so parched. I'm like, shut up. You don't parched? Who says that? You just need some water, girl. Go drink some water. We get real emotional when it comes to our appetites. And Esau is being super dramatic. I'm starved, so give me some of that stew. And this is a big deal because to Jacob, Jacob realizes, wait a minute. My older brother never asks me for anything. My older brother wants something, like he's got the favor. My dad likes him the most. He's the firstborn. He's got all the blessing. All the things are going to him, and he wants something from me? And so Jacob's like, okay. All right, well, how about this? Make me a trade. How about this? You make me a trade. You want something from me? You got to give something to me then. And then he gets real, like a little bit too cocky, like a little bit outside, like he is over his skis. This is not going to go well because there's what he says. Make me a trade. My stew for your rights as a firstborn. This is insane. Like Jacob has lost his mind. If Esau didn't immediately look at him and excuse me? That's silly. Okay, I see what you did there. That's a funny joke. What do you really want to trade? This doesn't make any sense. This is laughable. If anything, it's disrespectful. Because the birthright, you give me your rights as the firstborn. The birthright, this is where all the power came from. This is where all the position came from. Whoever was firstborn would get 2/3 of the inheritance. They would get a double portion of the inheritance from their father. And then the secondborn would get 1/3. And so he's like, you give me a double portion of everything coming to you that I'm not going to get otherwise, and I'll give you this nice little bowl of stew. Like, I don't even like stew. Lentil stew, for real? You're going to give that up? This is a dumb trade. See, it's the firstborn that would have been in line to receive and had the potential to get God's blessing. Right? That promise from the beginning that I'll make a great nation out of you, greater than the stars in the sky will be your descendants. And through you, I will bring someone who will save the world. God's great plan would come through Abraham, and it would run through the line of the firstborn. I mean, can you imagine trading that for a bowl of stew? A friend of mine said it's kind of like this. It's like me and my brother. I don't have a brother. Let's say I did have a brother, just like in this story. Me and my brother are going to get some food from, I don't know, call it Chick-fil-A, because that's the best one. So we're going to get Chick-fil-A. And he is in the car that my parents just bought him. And it's in his name. And we pull up to the drive-thru, and he tries to make an order. And as he's making the order, he goes, oh no, I don't have my wallet. I forgot my wallet. And my phone. I can't do Apple Pay. I get it's 2023. I can't do that. Okay, I don't know how to pay for this. Can you pay for it? And I'm sitting in the passenger seat like, yeah, I'll pay for it. You got to sign over the title to this car, though. You want to give me the car? I know they gave it to you. You got to give it to me. And then, yeah, you can have your number 3 with extra fries, okay? It's dumb. You laugh because you should. This is the worst trade offer in the history of trade offers. So here's how Esau replies. I'm starving. What good is a birthright if I'm dead? Can we be more dramatic, Esau? You're really that famished? Hunting was that tough today? You need a bowl of stew? You're willing to do this? Esau's lost common sense. Esau is outside of his mind. What Esau's doing is he's living in the moment. He's looking so close at the fact that his appetite is so large and screaming so loud, he's being ruled by his appetite. You know who does this? Toddlers. They do. Mine! Like little seagulls in Finding Nemo. Mine, 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 mine. I want it now. Mine, mine, give it to me now. Now and more is the language of a toddler. And that's also the language of your appetite. And that's how Esau's thinking. He's thinking, it doesn't matter about everything in the future. It doesn't matter about everything I may have one day. It matters that right now I'm starving. So can I please have some stew? He's thinking outside of his mind. He's not using common sense. And Jacob can't believe what's happening. Jacob's like, you didn't laugh in my, okay. So here's what Jacob says. Well, first, you got to swear to me. Like, I don't believe that. Now you're playing a joke on me. You're considering this right now? First, swear to me. Swear to me that you mean this. You got to promise this. You got to give me that car. I know it's yours, but you're going to give it to me. You're going to give me the double portion of blessing for this bowl of stew. Is that what you're saying? And of course, at this moment, Esau is like, ha, gotcha. And he did it. He swore it away. On oath, Esau traded away his rights as the firstborn. And the dumbest trade in history happened. Esau was looking through the lens of his appetites. His appetites were ruling him. They were controlling him. And look how it ends. It says that Jacob gave him the bread, and he gave him the stew of lentils. And Esau ate it, and he drank it, and he got up, and he left. That's how Esau shrugged off the rights that he had as the firstborn. He ate it, he drank it, and then he was like, cool, thanks. He had no regard for the reality and the value of what was his. His appetites were ruling him. And you probably right now are thinking the exact same thing I am, of like, that's so dumb. If I was looking at this right now, I'd want to shake Esau by the shoulders and yell at him, hey, zoom out. That's all you gotta do. Just zoom out. Like, You think this is a big deal. You think you're starving. Zoom out for a second. Have you forgotten who your dad is? Have you forgotten that promise of your grandfather that we all clearly know about? You're the firstborn. All that blessing, all that power, all that position, all that opportunity, all that future, you just gave it away. But his appetites were ruling him, so of course he did. And see, what Esau failed to understand in that moment was truth. The voice of reason in his head was his appetite. And so whenever you continue on in the story and you go and see what actually happened, here's how the story continues in the book of Exodus as Moses recounts it in Exodus chapter 3, verse 6. Here's what it says. Then he said, I am the God, this is God speaking to Moses, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of, not Esau, Jacob. See, Esau missed out on the fact that through this family, through this moment, eventually would lead to where the entire Israelite nation would be enslaved by Egypt, and then this one guy, Moses, would come and lead them out of Egypt in this incredible journey, this incredible exodus towards the promised land that he originally gave Abraham. And then down the line of all these people, eventually David would come, who would become a king of the Israelite nation. And as David leads them from the line of David and his sons, eventually 2,000 years after the worst trade in history, Jesus would show up, the Savior of the world, just as God had promised. And Esau traded it all away because of his appetite. This instant gratification of his appetite. And you know what the worst part is? I mean, let's call it what it is. You know this. 3 hours later, he was hungry again. You know he was. I'm starving. That bowl of stew didn't last you till tomorrow. You gave away your entire life for a moment of something your appetite was screaming at you. Now, see, it's easy to read that story and think, yeah, but I mean, who would do that? You would do that. I would do that. Some of you are doing that right now. Some of you are choosing to live your life in a way that you are living out the story of Esau. And your appetite, whether it be food or something else, is ruling you. Because we can't in our culture, and we can't in your generation, imagine delaying our gratification to anything of the future. See, you do this in relationships. Because you're in a relationship with someone, you're like, I know I don't need to be in it, but I'd rather be with someone than on my own, so I'll just stay in this toxic relationship. You are looking so tight into the appetite of wanting to be accepted, wanting to belong, wanting to be affirmed, wanting to feel secure, wanting to feel significant, that you are willing to trade everything that you may want down the road for this momentary, awful experience anyways, right now. Just like that bowl of stew. I guarantee you it didn't taste good. Lentils? At least put some noodles in there, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not a relationship. The big one, the big appetite that a lot of us experience because our culture screams at us something opposite of what Jesus would say is with sex. I get it. I understand this. See, this was the thing in my story that was the most difficult. I didn't understand that staying and keeping something for the future that what I wanted the most was worth waiting for. And so my wife and I, when we started dating, we had sex one time before we got married. We had sex one time, and it crushed me. I waited till I was 21 years old, and then we had sex one time. And I was like, what did I do? And in that moment, she saw how it ended me. She saw how it just absolutely shattered me. And I saw what it did to her, and we made a commitment at that moment that we weren't going to do it again until we got married, and we didn't. But in a moment, my appetite screamed so loud because I wanted it. That natural desire for sex that I was born with, that you were born with. I traded away what I was waiting for my entire life for a moment with someone who I wasn't even actually truly committed to. Just someone I really light. See, the moment we start treating sex like it's an appetite that we deserve to have filled, we deserve to have fulfilled within us, you know what you're doing is you're acting like an animal. That's a carnal desire that you have, but that's what animals do. I just got these desires, these wild oats I need to go sow while I'm in college. That's what an animal does. But you're not an animal. You're not an animal. You're this unique blend of something that's not just a body. You have a soul. Far more than just carnal. And yet whenever we allow that appetite to scream now and more than most, we trade away what we actually want the most for what we want now. We don't realize that if the intimacy you're truly desiring that comes from sex, the union of two becoming one, the only way to truly experience the full blessing and reality and fulfillment of that is whenever you have exclusivity. Right? If I asked you the question, how many of you would like to get married one day to someone who's had sex with a dozen people? Not a single hand is going to go up. So why do you think they'd want you to do that then? It's an appetite. It's a natural desire to fill a need that you have. But are you being ruled by it or are you ruling it? Maybe it's not that you're having sex with other people or you're crossing boundaries physically. Maybe this is the thing that eventually led to my problem. Maybe it's pornography. Maybe we get so lost in the reality of that I can't wait. I can't risk being, you ready? I can't risk being told no. I can't risk being told not now. I can't risk being told you're not enough. So I'm going to go to a source where they can't tell me no. Because I have an appetite that that needs to be fed. So I can't wait. I'm going to go seek this out and I'm going to go find it. And then it ends up killing you. Pornography will kill you. It is a lie. And just because you may deal with it whenever you're a teenager, guys and girls, doesn't mean that when you get to your 20s and then when you get married, it just goes away. It will get into your marriage because your appetites, you never outgrow them. You never escape them. They don't eliminate. They stay with you. You either have to rule it or it will rule you. Maybe it's not those things sexually. Maybe it's alcohol. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a habit. Name the thing of whatever your appetite is. Can we call it what it is? If it ends in regret, there's probably a boundary that you should set. If it ends in regret, there's probably a boundary that you should set. Because why do you want to live with regret? You don't, but your appetites will lead you there. What I need you to understand is this. Don't trade what you want most for what you want now. Why? Because you always lose that trade. 100% of the time. You always lose that trade. Now there is grace available through Jesus. If you've made mistakes, you've given into your appetite, you've forfeited over the things you want most for the things that you feel like you want now, you need to know there is grace available, there is a blessing available, there is an opportunity to find a more and better life than you could ever dream of that is fully available to you. You just got to get it under control now. If you've had sex before you got married, it doesn't mean that you don't deserve or that you have lost your ability to find an incredible and wonderful marriage one day that's filled with the best sex anyone's ever heard of. That's God's desire for your life if you get married, is to experience the greatest sex ever. It's a gift He gives to you. You ready? But the moment we start treating it like He gives, we get all out of sorts. Because when I think something is my right, now I'm entitled to it, and I'm going to listen to my appetite, not my wisdom. So don't trade what you want most for what you want now. You'll always lose that trade. And if you want to get this right, well, how do I do that? How do I not make that trade? Very simple. You wait. You're like, Matt, that sucks. That doesn't work. I'm just telling you right now. That don't work. Right. Waiting's hard. No one enjoys it. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy. But I'm not simply saying, so go wait. All right, have fun. Let me pray for you. This is actually an acronym I want you to remember. How do you actually control your appetites rather than them controlling you? You wait, and here's what I mean. The first thing you do is you write down what you want most. Write down what you want most. Do you even know what you want in your future? Are you even aware of where you'd like to go? If you're not, write it down. Without a target, you're aimless. So pick a direction. Figure out that vision and go after it. Write down what you want most. The next thing you do is you ask if this current thing right now helps you get there. Write down what you want most and then ask, does this actually help me get there? I want to find the fullest and greatest blessing possible in my marriage for the rest of my life. Is giving away myself right now before I get into that covenant commitment, that lifelong exclusive commitment, how God has designed sex to be experienced. If I give this away now, is it actually helping me get what I want most? So you start asking questions, it brings in wisdom. And then when you ask questions, the next thing you do is you imagine. Imagine what could actually be better than this. If Esau would have imagined the blessing that God promised to his grandfather and what that could mean down the road, I guarantee you things would have been different in that moment when he was starving. So write down what you want most. Ask if this actually helps you get there. Imagine what could be better. And then this is the most important thing. Train yourself to get there. How do you figure this out? You wait. You write it down, you ask if it helps, you imagine what could be better, and then you train yourself to get there. And the key word in that last one is you train. Not try, you train. If I try to do something and then it doesn't work out, what am I gonna feel like? I failed. But if I'm training to do something and I don't get it right, that's okay, get up and do it again tomorrow. I'm training. I'm trying to get from where I am now to where I want to be one day because I want to get it right. And so do you. So we gotta wait. We gotta live with the idea of delayed gratification and choosing what we want most over what we want now. Controlling those appetites rather than them controlling us. Let me pray for you. Father, thank you. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for the lessons that we can learn from people who have gone before us who did not get it right because we want to. So I pray that for whatever student has walked in here and they've been living through their appetites, Father, I pray that you would give them such conviction and such strength that they would be able to press on to tomorrow making a different decision, that they would choose to wait with delayed gratification for what is best in their life, not just what may be good right now. Would you give us wisdom to navigate this and the strength to get there? Because at the end of the day, what you want for every one of these students is for them to encounter the more and better life that you want for them. I pray they'd find that. But the only way they're going to find that is if they seek you. So would they draw near to you this week? And as they draw near to you, would they find that you are drawing near to them? So thank you for loving us first. We love you right back. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Guys, I love y'all. I love what we get to do here, and I am so excited for what we're about to do now. So on the heels of that conversation that you get to go and work on, we're going to have a lot of fun. We are going to have a blasty blast. It's going to be so great. 3 things I need you to know. First, next Wednesday, we have a very special night at the living room. We are inviting the entire church to join us for an Ash Wednesday night of worship. Ash Wednesday is the beginning of the season of Lent that leads into Easter. Samer will be here to communicate a vision for this entire night. This is a night you don't want to miss, I promise. And we get to lead the way. So when you get here next week, there will be dinner in the attic. We'll be going into the attic to eat dinner as TLR. And then we want y'all to come in this room and flood the front. It'll be set up just like this. Come in here, flood the front, get in these chairs. If you're watching online and you're not here tonight, you need to get here next week to be here for that night of worship. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Second thing on your way out, go talk to WinShape. One of the best possible things you can do with your life and for your summer is to go and serve and lead and join that team. Go talk to them, apply, work at winshape.org. We'd love for you to do that. If you're here for the first time, Please go out there, see us, hang out with us. We'd love to give you something for being here. And everybody, in 7 minutes, we're gonna start this silent disco. So go out the hallway, go down towards the attic. There are gonna be headphones you can grab, and then we're gonna slowly make our way into the attic for a party like you ain't never experienced before, unless you've done a silent disco. Then you know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you haven't, get ready. Love y'all, TLR. Yeah.
Hope will set your eyes agleam, like 4 feet dangling in the stream.